Stop by today or give them a call at 352-873-4368. That's 352-873-4368. WOCA.
A mix of clouds and sunshine with a shower at a few spots for the morning. Then we'll see a couple of showers and a heavy thunderstorm in the afternoon with a high today 80 to 84. For tonight, cloudy. A shower or a thunderstorm still around, low 71 to 74. Cloudy with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm for tomorrow. Thursday's high 78 to 80. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your Verizon representative with news that will hum your car, make it smart and safe. How? With the new Hum device by Verizon. You can rest assured you're never alone. Flat tire? Lost? Accident? For $10 a month, Hum by Verizon has you covered. And I will come to you in Marion County to install the Hum for free. Time to call me at 352-528-0020. Are you ready to hum along? Call 352-528-0020.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
Hey, this is Matt from Crossroad Auto Sales. I want to invite you to come over and check out our vehicles. All of our vehicles at Crossroad Auto Sales go through a rigorous 100-point safety inspection. We work with most outside finance companies, and we even have in-house financing available. Stop by today at 1800 Northwest 10th Street or give me a call at 690-6695. That's 690-6695. Crossroad Auto Sales. We won't leave you stranded at the crossroad.
The Centers is here for you with services in person or via telehealth use, computer, iPhone, or Android. Or call us 352-291-5555.
You're listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA, The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, broadcasting to you live from the Panic Mall, streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio, as we are rolling through this Wednesday of June 3rd. We just had Avilio. Unfortunately, he had to leave as he bounces out of here at 9 o'clock, but a lot of good stuff that we were talking prior to that 9 o'clock hour in lieu of, the justification of setting a goal in lieu of financial security. As we talk, as we're going to bring that to you here, AM Ocala Live, with the idea of some Wealth Wednesdays, some wealth knowledge that can get you a little bit ahead of the curve, if you will, in lieu of maybe the financial gain or the financial responsibilities that as more of a time than ever than now, right? With everything that goes on within the world, is to be planned and ready as life happens when you're busy making other plans. And one of those things is, and the idea of plans is having some kind of plan to get to a goal with maybe financially. As we roll through that, as we say thanks to him, as we talk with Galen there at the top of the 8 o'clock hour, rolling with a little this, little that when it comes to the talk of the baseball season for 2020, which, again, is kind of feeling like as Major League Baseball's owners are willing to pay players prorated salaries and want shorter 2020 2020 season, per the report, but whether or not they come to agreement to actually see the fruition of the 2020 baseball season, as we shared our opinions there, and as Galen did as well, as whether or not we really think that would happen. As like, he's more of like a 99%. I'm maybe sitting maybe more 90 to 95% of that won't happen, but we shall see overall. As we got more good show for you here, rolling through as we are now 12 minutes past the top of the 9 o'clock hour, as we've moved through with, like we said, talking about the idea of what you can do with some of the responsibility, the financial responsibility that you could have, thinking about what you can do. As we were talking about an article that he found where a 35-year-old couple that was able to retire with kidding and saving up to 70% of their income to get them towards the $1 million mark to get them to retire at 35 years old. And a lot of good stuff there, as we talked about. Well, number one, or as we went from the countdown up, but we'll just come back to it, as financial security being a big one, having a financial goal, and then mentioning the idea of finding a way to boost your income, using the skill sets that you have, maybe something on a side job or something like that that can do something, not just the norm of what you do for your Monday through Friday 8-hour days, but something on the side that can boost your income. Also, invest in appreciating assets, something in the idea, we always hear about depreciating type of assets, but it's the idea of finding something that doesn't depreciate either so much, or actually something that can help you gain towards having an asset that actually either makes value happen over time. And then number two was kind of interesting there when it comes to saving, when it comes to even just paying your bills, credit card bills, everything on time goes a long way, as well as your credit score goes, which helps overall. But even just to the idea of something like savings accounts, is having automated ideas of taking money from the checking and putting it into savings, or putting it into the IRA or the 401k as something that automatically does it, so it takes a lot of the pressure away from you to do it. It just automatically does, as that's a big part of it, because then as that's taken place, it's a little something that you don't have to think too hard about, and then by the end of it, you realize that you've got something pretty substantial there overall. And then the last one was what they said, detach, basically find a way. And I kind of correlated that with the idea of the emotional expression that comes along with a lot of the things we spend money on, when it comes to detaching yourself that maybe doesn't give you so much of that sense of emotion or passion or happiness or whatever, when it actually maybe can cause that, and you look at the expense of what that is, then do away with it, as you can detach yourself from that and start to try to find the true essence of what money is there to do to give you that financial security to make you feel more happy. And I think that's what's interesting too, because it's the idea that for the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And it's funny that taken one from the movie Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith there, and the idea of what a funny word right in front of it is the pursuit of happiness, as you can have the opportunity in this country to seek for it. It's not given, it's earned. And those are the ways to maybe do it. As we move on a little bit, still in the talk of the idea of some financial expectations or money, is an article that come up that was posted from yesterday as it was updated, that your next stimulus check could be higher. It says here, if the HEROES Act gets signed, as House Democrats want it to. So there was, for a while, a big push or conversation about what the next ideas would be, and obviously coming from the Democrats about that idea. So here's a little bit more information on it. As House Democrats recently introduced a new stimulus package, including a new round of checks, as Democrats in the House of Representatives recently announced a new round 4 of a stimulus package designed to help the United States economy weather the storm of, obviously, the COVID-19 pandemic. The new legislation, known as the Health and Economic Recovery Omnibus Emergency Solutions Act, yada, yada, or as shortened, HEROES Act. This stuff gets outrageous, right? Health and Economic Recovery Omnibus Emergency Solutions Act. Who? Really? But anyway, HEROES Act, as it is known short, would have a massive price tag of more, get this, $3 trillion. This would make it the most expensive economic recovery bill yet, roughly 50% costlier than the CARES Act. Again, a lot of people ask, where does just $3 trillion come from? According to a summary of the provisions contained in the 1,800-page bill, that's a lot of pages. The HEROES Act would provide almost $1 trillion in funding to states and local governments. That would allocate $200 billion to providing hazard pay to essential workers, fund coronavirus testing and tracing programs, and much more. And last, but certainly not least, the legislation would provide another round of economic impact payments, better known as stimulus checks, to individual Americans. And as this has been moving towards the conversation of, as a lot of people say, I even say, where does that $3 trillion come from? And is it worth it overall? As House Democrats' proposal for the next stimulus checks, the direct payments proposed in the new legislation would be the same of the $1,200 size or the $1,200 size as the economic impact payments, including the CARES Act, did. So why could the result in a larger payment come to us? It says, while the HEROES Act would keep the same $1,200 payment amount for each adult, it would also provide a $1,200 payment for each of the taxpayers' dependents. So if you have your kids, you get, instead of the $500, an additional $1,200, up to a maximum of $300. In contrast, the CARES Act stimulus provided, obviously, the $1,200 per adult, $500 per child. So a family of four who receives a stimulus payment of $3,400, the CARES Act, would receive a $4,800 under the new proposal of the next stimulus idea with the HEROES Act. And to be clear, the same income limitations would apply. The stimulus payments would begin to phase out or adjust adjusted gross income, or AGI, levels above $150,000, and for married couples filing jointly for $75,000 for single taxpayers. So again, it's just one of those things overall. But we do have a caller. Good morning, WOCA. You're on the air.
Good morning, Adam.
Hey, Sonny. How you doing today, partner?
My take on all of this is it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
You can turn around and give everybody in the country $1 million.
Yeah.
And the person that only has the $1 million will be still crying, I'm poor.
That's true.
So what is the purpose of this besides this ruining the value of our economy, the value of our dollar, et cetera, et cetera? I don't see anything here. And as far as I'm concerned, the Democrats and Republicans is no longer a two-party system. I call it the rat system. They call them Demorats and Republirats. And together, their main goal is to how they can fill their pockets and retire on a fat pension or whatever else, because I don't care what they say, they're all the same. You ever hear of a poor politician, Republican or Democrat? No, I haven't.
That's a good point.
And this is what's wrong with our country. We need to take our country back, and we need the people that we elect to office to represent the people in office, not themselves, not their schemes, and not their bad ideas.
Yeah.
Haven't we suffered long enough with that? And I'll hang up and listen. Thank you for your programming.
Thank you, Sonny. Thank you. Appreciate it. And that's what it's for. That's part of the reason of bringing the information like this, is to have you folks share your opinion on it. And that's true, because I was gonna get to this and say, at what point, again, where do we get the $3 trillion? And at the same point, where is this in the idea of just saying, okay, everything we discussed even this morning about COVID-19 and the coronavirus now and everything, about getting ourselves opened up, getting ourselves back to 100%, having things open and get this economy rolling, where this wouldn't be necessary or having to be talked about, because here we are now coming into, like we said, now we're June, first week of June, and it's still just so much hesitation. But like we said, within the protesters gathering and where even the professional healthcare officials are saying, well, as far as protesting to be a little bit more important of what's the circumstances with being close together when it comes to COVID, is that deems more important. That's exactly right. It's as the caller pointed out there, is just this exacerbating spending. What's the consequences that comes to that later, and where are the logical thought processes in telling us where that would eventually come from? Basically, the bottom line is just like, if this is what we're discussing with this as, again, handing out money, to the idea of saying, well, a lot of people are ready to earn their money. They want to have things back open. So where's more of pushing things to say, okay, when it comes to the guideline and phases, just opening things back up overall. So I totally hear you, partner, and I appreciate you listening. And just to wrap that up, it says for everything, and with that, it said that it's highly probable that the next stimulus package will contain a direct payment to Americans. Leaders on both sides have been supporting of getting money into the hands of consumers through the COVID-19 pandemic, and there's no reason to think that the leaders on either side of the aisle would be completely opposed to the amount. But that's where the caller is making the point. I don't care what side you're on. This wouldn't be good, basically. And it says, while the fourth stimulus effort is in a long way of being signed into law, it's looking quite likely that Americans will get another direct payment during the coronavirus. We were talking about this a few weeks ago, I think, and it was to the point or the expectations of being very unlikely as more is being pushed through to the say that with, like they said, and that's how they're finishing the article, is while this may be the fourth stimulus effort and having it being a long way from ever being signed into law, it is more probable and looking likely that Americans would get another direct payment during this so-called crisis. So there you go overall. Now, on the side of things, to the idea of where I'm talking, the argument it's like, well, instead of handing out the money, let's talk more about getting things opened up so we can go out there. And I think the majority of us want to go out there and work for that money, earn that money, is the idea of Governor DeSantis with Florida bars, lounges that are anxious to reopen. So as that says, as Governor Ron DeSantis is under increasing pressure to let bar owners again pour spirits and ring the bell for last call. Local elected officials are telling the governor that bar and nightclub owners whose businesses rely on alcohol for 50% or more of revenue are getting desperate, watching from the sidelines as a month into the first phase of the state's reopening for the coronavirus pandemic. A month now, mind you. As Bunnell Mayor Catherine Robinson wrote to the governor over the weekend that many of these businesses in the small Flagler County community are struggling to stay afloat, just barely keeping above, saying those who have been able to operate have survived up to this point. The owners who are mandated to close are about to lose their businesses. The local bars and veterans organizers are looking for support to be able to be open and safely abiding with the rules and the guidelines that are set up through the CDC and the office, as they are barely holding on, hoping that they can survive to reopen and begin to look to rebuild their future, end quote. Okeechobee County Commissioner Terry Burrows told the News Service of Florida he's anxious to reopen social clubs, especially those that serve vets, such as veterans of foreign wars, as we know as the VFW and AMVETS. He said the clubs serve a critical need in the community, especially now with the idea of the conversation of everybody struggling, maybe on a mental side of things, not saying that alcohol is the derivative, but the social gathering of people who are vets themselves is why the clubs were formed, to have that outlet for each other. That's the only meal that some of the veterans oftentimes get. And I can't get open because they're classified as a bar, Burrows said in a telephone interview Monday evening. So far, the governor's office isn't giving any indication of will they implement the second of the three anticipated economic reopening phases, saying, quote, Governor DeSantis is reviewing the requests as he considers the launch of phase 2 of reopening Florida, as DeSantis spokeswoman Helen Aguirre-Ferry has said in an email on Monday, Helen Ferrer. Jacksonville Mayor Lenny Curry last week said he was optimistic that phase 2 was on the near horizon after talking with DeSantis about reopening bars that have been closed statewide since March 17th. March 17th, mind you, too. That was St. Patrick's Day, which was expected to be, or always is, one of the biggest bar days of the year. And with that in mind, how that was floundered based on everything that was going on during the expectations of how coronavirus and COVID-19's pandemic spread, saying, quote, I think they can reopen in a safe, responsible way, much like restaurants have, with the capacity restrictions, making sure that people aren't shoulder to shoulder, for example, standing at a bar. And I would expect additional announcements, hopefully sometime the next week, given the downward trend that we've continued to experience in Duval County. Now, it says when he initiates the state's reopening procedures on May 4th, DeSantis strayed from the recommendations of his own Reopen Florida task force, which was dominated by local officials, leaders, lobbying groups, and heads of large business. The governor initially limited restaurants and retail businesses, as we know, from the 25% indoor capacity in most of the state and the departure from the 50% capacity rate recommended by his task force. Now, obviously, the Palm Beach, Miami-Dade, Broward counties considered hot spots later all joined the Phase 1 reopening, along with gyms, hair salons, barbershops, and all with their own social distancing requirements. Now, when DeSantis announced the relaunch of the gyms on May 15th, he said that the state was moving into what he called a full Phase 1. So the task force had recommended that gyms be included in Phase 2, along with movie theaters, concert halls, bowling alleys, auditoriums, and casinos, operating at 75% capacity. Now, for example, Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Tampa reopened in late May, while some pari-mutuels have reopened and others remain shuttered. Some counties have allowed bowling alleys to open, like even the one we've had here. DeSantis in mid-May allowed vacation rentals to house guests again. If counties submitted the plans for the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation has approved. More than 50 counties have since received the go-ahead for a step that the task force recommended to be limited to Florida residents under Phase 2. The majority of counties approved plans to do not restrict vacation rentals to Florida residents. Under the task force proposal, Phase 3 would allow local governments to hold in-person meetings, while bars, gyms, restaurants, and nightclubs would be able to operate at full capacity. Theme parks could resume normally with operations with limited social distancing protocols, and vulnerable people could resume public interactions while practicing social distancing. Now, last week, the state gave approval for those major theme parks to reopen. And that's what we've been discussing, too, with Universal opening up June 5th, SeaWorld June 11th, and Disney with the expectations of Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom on July 11th, and then Epcot on July 15th. So at what point do we just say, come on now, let's go, let's open this stuff back up? Let's do it. I don't know. I guess we're getting close. Who knows? Anyways, we're coming to the bottom of the 9 o'clock hour. Stay tuned. We got more good show for coming up. AM Ocala Live. We'll be back right after this. WOCA Ocala.
There were a few confrontations with police last night, but the nationwide protests over George Floyd's death in Minneapolis were generally more peaceful than we'd seen the few nights before. Not everyone obeyed the 8 p.m. curfew in New York. In Los Angeles,
daytime protests wrapped up with dozens of people being arrested outside of the mayor's residence for violating a 6 p.m. curfew. Protests continued in several cities, including Seattle and Portland, Oregon, where people laid on a bridge with their hands behind their backs. In Denver, people gathered at the Capitol building holding lights. There were protests in several cities across Florida and in the nation's capital outside of the White House.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. President Trump on Twitter says the Republican convention in August will have to be held somewhere other than Charlotte, North Carolina, because Governor Roy Cooper, a Democrat, cannot guarantee that coronavirus restrictions will be fully lifted by then. America's listening to Fox News.
From faulty breakers to broken windows to leaky pipes, roofs, and water heaters, homes and businesses around the country can't work until the pros do. That's why Lowe's created credit programs that work for pros. With everyday 5% savings on eligible purchases, plus through October 31st, 60 days promotional financing on your Lowe's business account or extended terms on eligible account receivables. Learn more in-store or online at lowesforpros.com. putting money back in your pocket. Just one more reason Lowe's is the new home for pros. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only.
How much money would you like to save just by doing something you're already doing? How about 40%? With Allstate, safe drivers can save 40% just by doing something they're already doing. Driving safe. That's right, 40% just by driving safe. Visit Allstate.com or call a local agent for a quote today and see just how much you can save when you drive safe with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Savings vary based on DriveWise and other safe driving discounts. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
This is Jan from Palm Garden. Now that our governor is slowly reopening our state, the number one question I get is, when can I visit my loved one at Palm Garden? The quick answer is that I don't know. I can tell you that we were the first to close and will likely be the last to reopen in order to protect our residents. Limiting visitors, screening, and masks will also be likely. Until we are able to see you again, we are Palm Garden.
If you've got just a minute, I'll tell you about the terrific sale on summer annuals at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. Now, this brand new selection includes coleus, periwinkle, celosia, zinnias, begonia, marigolds, impatiens, melanpodium, gomphrena, and that's just the beginning. Take your pick, mix and match for just $2.29 each, or get a huge flat 18 for $19.99. Hummingbird and butterfly plants. Big selection. Take your pick. Bob's got them $9.99 to $12.99. Bob still has BOGO on blueberries. And, of course, you gotta get crepe myrtles. More colors than you can count, starting at $24.99. Don't miss out. Best thing is to get there early. They open at 9, and they're open till 4:30 daily. Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street in Ocala, the same blooming place since 1952.
Prevention is important. Help prevent the spread of illness and keep yourself and others well. Here are some of the most effective ways you can prevent the spread of germs. Wash your hands by scrubbing thoroughly with soap and hot water for at least 20 seconds, and always wash before you touch your face, eat, or drink. Use hand sanitizers in addition to hand washing or where soap and water are not available. Limit sharing of items such as utensils, cups, and dishes. Avoid all physical contact with others, including handshakes and kisses. Practice social distancing by maintaining a distance of 6 feet from others. Sneeze or cough into a tissue or the inside of your elbow. Avoid contact with ill individuals and insist they isolate themselves. Sanitize frequently touched surfaces in your home and workplace several times a day. An ounce of prevention is worth a ton of cure. Download the free booklet at Scientology.org/stay well.
Looking for fun and educational online activities for children? Then check out Teaching Tuesdays, the Appleton Museum of Art's free weekly art project video series. These educational videos feature art projects that can easily be done from home with basic art supplies and materials. A new video is posted each week at 10 a.m. on the Appleton's Facebook page, website, and YouTube channel. For more information, visit appletonmuseum.org. The Centers is here for you with services in person or via telehealth use, computer, iPhone, or Android. Or call us 352-291-5555.
Pals Ocala Auto Repair fixes all makes and models. Pals makes sure that your vehicle's engine, mechanical, and electrical components are healthy at all times. Pals team would much rather see you drive to their shop for a full checkup than be towed in for a complex repair. Give Pals a call today to schedule your next service appointment. 352-414-2984. What? A nationwide warranty, 36 months or 36,000 miles, whichever comes first? Pals looks forward to servicing you and servicing your vehicle. 352-414-2984.
On June 10th at 10:35 a.m., Adam's guests will be from Ruby Slipper LLC to talk about their car seat cover, a specially designed heavy-duty double-layered seat cover with a unique sliding action that allows passengers to swivel into their car. Created by Catherine Miles, the Ruby Slipper car seat cover can help with mobility for anyone who has such difficulty. Again, that's 10:35, June 10th. It's news you can use from Catherine Miles and your friends here at WOCA The Source.
WOCA.
Shamrock Security Systems, 629-3223. Shamrock Security Systems is located here in Ocala, Florida. Shamrock Security Systems is a top-rated alarm company offering 24/7 monitoring, video surveillance, fire and flood protection. You'll sleep a little better once the job is done. Shamrock Security Systems for over 31 years. 629-3223. Get a 100% free quote from Shamrock Security. 629-3223.
We are proud to announce the Conservative Watch Hour on WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM every Friday at 11 a.m. Hosted by Annie Marie Delgado, President of Trump Team 2020 Florida, and her co-host Ann Vandersteel with SteelTruth.com. We are serving a higher level of excellence, and we are the only program of this type in this market. Don't miss your weekly dose of conservative talk radio. WOCA 11 a.m. Fridays, 96.3 and 1370 a.m.
Help prevent the spread of germs. Wash your hands with soap and hot water for at least 20 seconds and always wash before you touch your face, eat, or drink. Use hand sanitizers. Limit sharing of eating utensils. Practice social distancing and avoid physical contact. Sneeze or cough into a tissue or the inside of your elbow. Avoid contact with ill individuals. An ounce of prevention is worth a ton of cure. Download the free booklet at Scientology.org/stay well.
Hi, this is Will.
And this is Wendy of Dex Imaging in Gainesville and Ocala. You know, we live and work in this community just like you, and we wanted to personally invite you to call us with any questions or concerns about your copiers or printers.
Like, how can I save money on my toner? That stuff's expensive.
In most cases, a complimentary workflow analysis has shown we can save your business 20 to 30% on printing cost.
Have you been kicking around the idea of going paperless? Are you considering a document management solution? Maybe you just want to ask some questions, but don't want to be bombarded by aggressive salespeople.
Give us a call. We'll be happy to answer your questions and show you how you can save money with our award-winning copiers and printers and our amazing service team.
Who, in case you didn't know, will be there in 4 hours or less to service your machine guaranteed, and we have a 97% first-time fix rate. Check us out at deximaging.com or give us a call.
In Ocala, dial 352-433-4090. That's 433-4090. Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
Tick-tock. The days fly by, and we find tax season is upon us once again. Not to worry, though. With a reputable CPA firm on your side, you can rest assured that all of your needs will be handled in a professional and thorough manner. Robson, Scribner, and Stewart is just that firm. They're there for their clients year-round, not just during tax season, to handle your needs and answer any questions you may encounter. At Robson, Scribner, and Stewart, there is no client too small or too large. Their expertise ranges from the single individual to the largest of corporations. Get your return prepared by a professional who will use their years of experience to ensure that your tax return's outcome will leave you in the best possible position. Call them today at 694-4184. Robson, Scribner, and Stewart. They're there for you today. Again, that number is 694-4184. Time is of the essence, so don't delay. 694-4184.
Ocala Business Leaders Incorporated is a group of independent local firms providing a wide range of quality goods and services. Each firm strives to maintain the highest level of professional integrity and 100% customer satisfaction. When you're looking for goods and services, call a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, and we are confident you will be pleased with the results. If you are interested in becoming a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, join us at the Ocala Elks Lodge, 25th Avenue in Ocala, any Wednesday at 7 a.m. and enjoy a breakfast on us. For more information, check OcalaBusinessLeaders.com. WOCA.
Been cutting a lot of promos lately.
Yeah, a lot of new, we got a new someone's coming up, Jeannie Mullen. Ooh. She's coming up Friday at 10:50 with you. She's going to talk about the pandemic and how it adversely affected everyone.
Yeah.
She's coming up 10:50 Friday with you.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's a lot experts have been coming out of the woodwork that know more than I'll ever know.
More than you'll ever know.
Yeah, but I was with the Ocala Business Leaders this morning at 6:30. We meet for breakfast till 7, and 7 to 8 we network.
What do you guys do for breakfast? They bring donuts or something?
No. Scrambled eggs, French toast, grits, biscuit and gravy, flat sausage. I go sausage patties, bacon. What else is up on there? I'm going up and down. What else was up there? There's bacon. Scrambled eggs. Yeah, the scrambled eggs. It says scrambled eggs.
So you ate good this morning.
And then we put cheese on top. They had the little cherry tomatoes if you want those. Had half slices of pears and syrup if you want something like that. And of course, iced tea, orange juice, coffee. Of course, coffee.
Was buffet style?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a good breakfast.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday morning now. This is the first one since this, and it was like family coming together.
Yeah. How long had it been since you guys had last met prior to the pandemic?
March 11th was the last meeting.
Is that right?
So
wow, that's some time.
That's some time, and things have changed.
Man, would you imagine when you guys said that, like, all right, we got March, and then you got April, May, and now here we are, June, and it's like,
right.
Oh, well, finally.
Finally, yeah, and a lot of the businesses, most of the businesses were there. Some went out of business. A lot of restaurants went out of business.
I was going to ask you, my friend, was that kind of one of the disappointing things, knowing that?
Yeah, some of the businesses were not there, but there was an insurance man that was there, and he says, read your policies, because of this looting and everything. There's policies, those are exclusions. You get robbed and everything, oh well, you're not covered. You're not covered unless you have that in your policy specifically.
Jeez.
You're not covered. With the insurance, it's like an act of war. Act of war, the insurance policies are gone. I mean, they're gone. There's no insurance policy, act of war. No, you're not insured for act of war. I didn't know that. Surprise! So a lot of these guys, like, who knows? Target got slammed.
Right.
For example, one of many. All right, that's a corporation. I would presume they put that clause in there because they're big giant. But most mom and pops, they wouldn't have that on there. And
because remember, they're looking for the best price to be able to be affording insurance in hindsight anyway. So maybe something like that wouldn't get put in there based on
who would think
increasing the premiums.
Oh, we're having a nice business on this nice road here. Who would think a bunch of idiots would come by and change a peaceful protest to a looting protest?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot was talked about, and not only there but other places. That we can go on about the looters. Are they really looters, or are they paid?
Sure.
Or are they brainwashed to come in?
Agenda type.
Have they gone to the colleges and recruited these people? And if they have, how do they do it? That has to be stopped. That has to be stopped. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. There's nobody at colleges right now because of it, so they're not going there to, but I know what you mean. Yeah.
College kids, I should say, college kids.
Right.
And how many are doing it just to do it, And then they go, why aren't the police stopping them? Excuse me, Now, I just 2 days ago, 2 days ago, maybe 3,
Asheville, North Carolina. My grandson is SWAT now.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Congratulations to him, too, by the way. That's a big thing.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
He's a big boy. He's like his dad, big boy. But his sister's is upset because, there he is. He's going in harm's way.
Sure.
They just called him up.
Sure.
SWAT goes out for certain situations. The police go out all the time. They're out to control crowds. They're out to move things over. But when you call SWAT out, that means something has escalated.
Absolutely.
And they go out, and they're not taking any crap from anybody. Where I'm gonna, bam, you're done. Next case. They're not gonna put up with all this in your face crap. No, they're gonna go in. They're in for a purpose.
Right.
They're in to do what they had. So they go in with an agenda ahead of time. This is bad. We're gonna clear this up. Boom, they cleared it up. Then they're out. And then the police go back in and try to keep the peace. Not where the police go in and try to keep the peace. They're there for it. SWAT is there because it has escalated to a point where it's above just the police.
Sure.
And we have SWAT here in Ocala. I don't know if you ever seen some of the SWAT equipment.
I have.
It's like a tank on wheels. It's like,
which I'm not thrilled in the idea of the militant police, but at the same time, I understand that we have that equipment.
But see, they don't just go in when there's. You didn't see them Saturday, or was it Sunday?
Right.
When they were marching. You didn't see them.
No.
Because it was a peaceful march.
Right.
Now, if they started looting, whoop, there they are.
Yeah.
So they come in when things are escalated, and of course, I worry for him. Largely, they're all in gear and everything, but these protesters that not everybody, most of the people have seen these videos on Facebook, where the fire truck stopped and they're throwing stuff at the fire truck. Why would you throw things at a fire truck? They're there to help if there's a fire. And they showed the picture of the fire truck, and luckily, it didn't break, but all the windows were cracked and everything where they threw stuff at it.
Right.
But what are these firemen are trying to help you stupid son of a They're trying to get to a fire that you started in Oakland, I think it was Oakland, California, I'm not sure, Mercedes-Benz. They're in there inside destroying cars. What does that have to do with the other thing? Nothing.
Right.
And in the dealership, there's this Mercedes-Benz burning. Ooh. Gee, where's your mentality? Where's your education? Where's your brains? And all these people I feel bad for all these people that are putting the protest together, that have a legitimate thing that they're doing, and they're trying. And then it's like a black eye.
Yeah.
It's like that one cop that did that thing that is being prosecuted. It's a black eye to the rest of the hundreds of thousands of cops that are good.
Right.
So it's like, okay, you don't want racism, fine, but it goes towards police also. It's the same. Put a label on it, whatever you want. It's the same thing. They're there to help you. They're not all a-holes like those guys are there. They're not the ones that don't give a hoot. No. Oh, enough's enough. No, not enough is enough. Each individual is an individual. Yeah. Take each case. I've met most of the police in Ocala. Not all of them. There's just 200 police. I haven't seen an a-hole yet. Not one of them. Here, luckily, they talk to you. They're pleasant to you. You treat them with respect, you get it back. You throw something at them, you throw something at me, what's going to happen? I'm going to say, oh, you threw something at me, shame on you. No, you're going to get retaliation.
Yeah, exactly.
They have their ethics. They have if they throw something at you, yours to do this, yours to do that. But they're human. You can only take so much.
That's right.
And crack, snap. We got a phone call.
Yep. Good morning, WOCA. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning. I read that in some of the cities, there were pre-positioned pallets of bricks. I want to know who paid for those, and I want them arrested.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
We've seen pictures of bricks already in cages. We've seen cages with rocks full put in their collar, and all the rocks are sitting there in cages. Nice row there, and the cages were supposedly locked, and I don't know what reason they put them in it for architectural, whatever, but everybody knows what they're there for. The cages can be ripped open, and there's all the rocks you need. Your question is valid. I do not have an answer, but I agree with you. They should be arrested. That's premeditated, and I agree with you. Yeah.
Have a good day.
You too, partner. Thank you.
That's premeditated.
I heard that too, and that again is that convolution of information that is really out there as far as what this, really is. Okay, like we said, protesters and everybody is behind the expectations of why there would be protest, but to become what it has with
it's not protest.
With everything.
It's just ludicrous.
It's absurdity. And then at the same time, we were discussing that a little bit this morning, and that's what I was kind of chiming in on from this first half hour of the 9 o'clock hour was. Okay, so where's the conversation with COVID-19 then? So if you're gathering to protest, and then
it's
that
there.
doesn't matter. So
it's
then,
there. It's there.
so then that bleeds into other conversations. Then it's like, okay, then where are we at really with these phases, with these guidelines? Because now, just reading an article, thank you to the Ocala Star Banner, was the idea of where we're at now. Because you mentioned with businesses that some didn't show up because they don't exist anymore, but a lot of these businesses, in lieu of like bars, or these lounges and stuff, are having to watch by the sidelines as at least restaurants open back up and stuff, but they can't. And at what point does? And here we are a month into having gone back with, opening things back up and phasing. And then also that stems to what I got the update on and read an article, and based on the new expectations that obviously the Democrats are more pushing with the newer concept of stimulus package, $3 trillion, what they call now Heroes Act.
Did you get your stimulus check?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I got mine. I can't find it.
No. From the taxes, it was directly deposited.
Well, I didn't see it. I didn't see it in my account yet. So
no. But it's like, well, really, how about more about these guidelines phases to open it up, and let's put the idea of this coronavirus on the back burner, like we done with the fuel as far as the flu and everything else, to say, okay, let's get back to some normalcy here. Let's people have the opportunity to earn their income rather than
It's
give
hard to get back to normalcy when you're in a town. Again, this just happened over the weekend, and it was on, of course, Facebook or media, whatever you want to call it, and something was happening. Forgive me. I'm alluding not to the town itself. I'll keep it generic. A town is there, and there's a man with the camera is talking about how nice and peaceful the town is, and the town up the road of peaceful, just put in that phrase, is having trouble with the da-da-da-da-da, and the rumors has it that they're going to come down to this town and do the same thing. And all the picture on the cameras, everybody's standing there with their guns, the shop owners, the citizens.
Yeah.
And they said, do you want to make a mess up? You're not going to come to our town and make a mess like you did up there. You want to, bam, now you're not making a mess anymore. You're dead. You can't make a mess anymore. And the problem is all these, we're going to come with bricks and let's see. That's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. No, it's not going to work anymore. So their town, unfortunately, they have to be like that, but everybody's walking around and they're showing their arms. In other words, they're wearing a 9mm or 45. They're showing it on their sides.
Yeah.
And they're walking around and say, okay, you're not going to mess with our town.
Right.
And guess what? They're not messing with their town. And rumor has it something's going to happen in Orlando. What? We don't know. But something's up.
Yeah.
We have another phone call. Come on in. We got a few more minutes.
Good morning, WOCA on the air.
Good morning.
Hey, Sonny.
Joe, Adam.
Hey!
Sonny calling. All this stuff, I believe, is orchestrated, and when it's orchestrated and everything like that, it comes under different federal laws and constitutional laws, and it's called anarchism, or overthrow of the government. Whether you're going directly towards the government or going through the rioting and everything else, it's still anarchy, and it should be dealt with very severely. Not like in New York, where you had people being arrested and the judges are releasing them back out without any cause or anything like that, and no fines, no nothing. It's again proves the fact that we don't have an American government here. We have a government by the government for the government. And if insurrections or riots and everything else meet their agenda, nothing will happen. It's time for, I don't know, I wouldn't want to see it, but it looks like if things keep going, you're going to have vigilantism here big time.
Well,
I don't blame any of the people.
They have some curfews out there now.
Scenario,
right.
You know, I may be 80 years old, but I can still pull a trigger.
Boy. Yeah, you're too old to run. There you go.
Thanks for the call, Sonny.
Yeah, I had to say that again. I just got off the phone a while ago with the doctor's office for something new. you know.
Yeah, well, you're like a car. You gotta have your annual checkup. Thanks for the call, son. We gotta run.
One last thing. You don't retire. You change occupations.
Hey, there you go.
My occupation is professional patient.
Oh, well, that's...
Have a good day.
You too, buddy.
Professional patient.
Professional patient.
But yeah, there's a lot of cities that put curfews in that have to be observed now, which is fine.
Yeah.
You can be stopped and say, where are you going? I'm going to work. Okay, where do you work? So far, okay, fine, you can go.
Yeah.
If not, put your butt in jail. I see an organizational structure here. The major cities are getting hit, all of them. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, this is not, oh, well, it just happened. No, this is organized. Who's doing the organizing? That's the biggest question.
Right, that's the question.
Who is doing the organizing?
Right.
Yeah, so.
And I don't know.
We don't know. We don't know yet. It's going to get to the point, well, they said President Bush was the last one, 82? That he called out the military to stop whatever it was. I can't think of it. I'm sorry. There's too much information in my hard drive.
As when you mentioned George Senior, you talking about George Senior Bush?
I'm just saying Bush. I don't know which one. I don't remember. That's why I'm saying it.
Yeah.
I just know
92.
Maybe it was 92 then. Okay.
Yeah.
And he brought the military out to stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's going to be a point where enough is enough. And this looting is, that doesn't belong to you. Stop it. The big corporations are not going to be hiring people to stay inside to guard it. They're going to, oh, you did it, it's all right. But the mom and pops, they're going to be sitting inside with shotguns and arm themselves.
Yeah.
If I owned a store, I'd be camping out in the store, and I would say, all right, damn it, I got to clean up the blood. And it's just going to be, but if they know that you're there, they're going to bypass you.
Sure.
Like the sign on the farmer's fence. I own a shotgun and a backhoe. No trespassing.
Now, like when you mentioned with meeting the business leaders of Ocala, is that what the premise was pretty much of the conversation is about what you can do to protect your business in lieu of what's going on with this. And considering, too, you're getting back to it after, COVID-19 and what that meant for business. So, yeah, there's probably a lot to talk about in this morning's meeting.
Yes, there was. It was, and it felt good.
Yeah.
And God's in our country.
Yeah.
And don't give up, because God hasn't given up on you.
Yeah.
No matter what your position of, I haven't given up on you kind of thing. And it was very heartwarming.
Yeah.
It was very positive, more positive than negative, and
that's necessary.
That is necessary.
That's needed. My friend, as we come to the top of the 10 o'clock hour, stay tuned. We got more AM Ocala Live up next. When we come back, we'll be doing On This Day in History, touching back on this day, certain events that had happened throughout the years. We're going to go back to
1914.
1932.
32? That's not too bad.
That's not too bad. WOCA Ocala, back after this.
News. I'm Chris Foster. There are thousands of people protesting in London right now over George Floyd's death in Minneapolis last Monday. Protests continue in cities across this country. In New York,
some protesters did continue to defy New York City's 8 p.m. curfew, and some of them were arrested. Meanwhile, looting did continue again in parts of Manhattan, though nothing like what we witnessed the last 2 nights. President Trump tweeted, "New York City, call up the National Guard. The lowlifes and losers are ripping you apart."
Fox's Aisha Hosni. Joe Biden is close to clinching the Democrats' presidential nomination, picking up more delegates in 8 primaries yesterday. In Iowa,
GOP Congressman Steve King lost to primary challenger State Senator Randy Feenstra. King was on the outs with Republicans after comments about white supremacy and had been stripped of committee assignments.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. America's listening to Fox News.
Have you ever wanted to learn a new language like French, Spanish, or Russian, but thought it would be too difficult and time-consuming? Then go to Babbel.com and try it for free. Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you everyday practical conversations that you will actually use. In 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel uses a modern conversation-based technique that makes language engaging, fun, and memorable. It starts by teaching you words and phrases. Then, sentences gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations about real-life topics. Babbel is created by language experts who use the spaced repetition method to help you learn quickly and remember what you learned. With Babbel, you can speak a new language. Babbel. Language for life. Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com or download the Babbel app and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
WOCA. Ocala. Want protection? Hero Mammoth covers only your nose and is made in the U.S. from U.S. source materials. Eat, drink, and breathe better. www.HeroMammoth.com.
Hey folks, that selection of great trees at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens just got better. Now listen to this. When you buy one tree at Bob's already super low price, you get another one for half price. Now this applies to every tree in stock, starting with a great selection of large trees, 4 to 6 feet tall, selling for just $19.99. All the way up to Bob's famous super jumbo trees at $5.99, delivered, planted, and guaranteed. Check out the truckload sale on citrus trees, too. Orange, tangerine, tangelo, lemon, lime, grapefruit, others. Many are bearing fruit right now, and they start at just $59.99. How about that BOGO on shrubs, priced at just $19.99 to $24.99. Buy one, get one free. Come by early. They open at 9, and get the best selection. Beat the crowds. It's this week at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, in the same blooming place since 1952.
AccuSleep offers a safe and effective medical option for those who suffer from sleep disorders of all kinds. AccuSleep makes restoring healthy sleep patterns possible. No medication, no surgery, just good sound sleep. Mend your sleep so you can stop counting sheep. Experience restorative sleep at AccuSleep, the acupuncture sleep clinic in Ocala, by calling 352-615-5566.
Some other common diseases that can dampen your summer tomato crops. That's coming up on This Land of Ours.
Welcome to the All In for Citrus podcast. There's a new resource available that brings all of Florida's citrus research together, delivering it right to you on your computer, phone, or tablet. Introducing the All In for Citrus podcast from UF-IFAS in partnership with Southeast AgNet. The monthly series spans the Sunshine State with research project updates from the UF-IFAS statewide citrus team. Listen to the latest episode by searching All In for Citrus on iTunes, your favorite podcasting application, or at citrusindustry.net.
Step right up and gaze upon this miraculous substance I hold in the palm of my hands. This little miracle can feed us, clothe us, give us clean, fresh water, and provide wildlife habitat for nature's critters. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the greatest soil on earth.
Learn more about soil health principles that can turn your soil into a star performer. Contact your local USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service office today to find out how. This message brought to you by USDA and this radio station.
The tomato plant disease known as late blight occurs during periods of cool, rainy weather that may come at the end of a growing season. It looks almost like frost damage on leaves, causing irregular green-black splotches. Fruits may have large, irregular-shaped brown blotches that quickly become rotten. This tomato plant disease fungus also affects potatoes and can be transferred from them. Mosaic virus attacks many kinds of plants and is common in tomatoes. While mosaic virus doesn't kill the plant, it diminishes the number and quality of fruits. Blossom drop is a disease that is brought on by extreme temperatures. Blossom drop occurs when temperatures rise above 85 degrees Fahrenheit or drop below 58 degrees Fahrenheit. Often you won't notice that there was any damage until you have fewer tomatoes to harvest at the end of the season. Prevent blossom drop by using row covers to raise night temperatures. I'm Kathy Isom, Southeast AgNet.
Howdy folks, RL here for Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best char grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. And the burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequaled. Personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
Are you a medical provider that doesn't like to settle for the same boring scrubs? Scrub Paradise in Ocala has a wide selection of top brand scrubs with embroidery available and the newest medical shoes and accessories. Every medical provider should look as great as the care they provide. Scrub Paradise is just off Easy Street next to Shoe Carnival in Ocala. Stop by today or give them a call at 352-873-4368. That's 352-873-4368. WOCA.
A mix of clouds and sunshine with a shower at a few spots for the morning. Then we'll see a couple of showers and a heavy thunderstorm in the afternoon with a high today 80 to 84. For tonight, cloudy. A shower or thunderstorm still around, low 71 to 74. Cloudy with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm for tomorrow. Thursday's high 78 to 80. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your Verizon representative with news that will hum your car, make it smart and safe. How? With the new Hum device by Verizon. You can rest assured you're never alone. Flat tire? Lost? Accident? For $10 a month, Hum by Verizon has you covered. And I will come to you in Marion County to install the Hum for free. Time to call me at 352-528-0020. Are you ready to hum along? Call 352-528-0020.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention and God bless America.
Hey, this is Matt from Crossroad Auto Sales. I want to invite you to come over and check out our vehicles. All of our vehicles at Crossroad Auto Sales go through a rigorous 100-point safety inspection. We work with most outside finance companies, and we even have in-house financing available. Stop by today at 1800 Northwest 10th Street or give me a call at 690-6695. That's 690-6695. Crossroad Auto Sales. We won't leave you stranded at the crossroad.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
On June 10th at 10:35 a.m., Adam's guests will be from Ruby Slipper LLC to talk about their car seat cover, a specially designed heavy-duty double-layered seat cover with a unique sliding action that allows passengers to swivel into their car. Created by Catherine Miles, the Ruby Slipper car seat cover can help with mobility for anyone who has such difficulty. Again, that's 10:35, June 10th. It's news you can use from Catherine Miles and your friends here at WOCA, The Source.
This is Jan from Palm Garden. Now that our governor is slowly reopening our state, the number one question I get is, when can I visit my loved one at Palm Garden? The quick answer is that I don't know. I can tell you that we were the first to close and will likely be the last to reopen in order to protect our residents. Limiting visitors, screening, and masks will also be likely. Until we are able to see you again, we are Palm Garden.
If you've got just a minute, I'll tell you about the terrific sale on summer annuals at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. Now, this brand new selection includes coleus, periwinkle, celosia, zinnias, begonia, marigolds, impatiens, melonpodium, gomphrena, and that's just the beginning. Take your pick, mix and match, for just $2.29 each, or get a huge flat 18 for $19.99. Hummingbird and butterfly plants. Big selection. Take your pick. Bob's got them $9.99 to $12.99. Bob still has BOGO on blueberries. And, of course, you gotta get crepe myrtles. More colors than you can count, starting at $24.99. Don't miss out. Best thing is to get there early. They open at 9, and they're open till 4:30 daily. Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street in Ocala, the same blooming place since 1952.
And you're listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA, The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, broadcasting to you from the Paddock Mall. As we mentioned, too, the Paddock Mall opens at 11 a.m., 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's Monday through Saturday, 12 noon to 5:30 on Sunday. And we are streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source.
Good morning,
Radio.
Adam.
Morning, partner. How you doing today? You're doing pretty good. You had a big breakfast today, so you got energy.
I got energy this morning.
He's ripping and roaring
I've already
here.
had 3 cups of coffee this morning. Hey-o!
You're cut off. You know that, right?
Yes, that's why I'm drinking water.
Exactly.
That's why I'm drinking the WOCA water.
Yeah. As WOCA water, as we say, a little shout out and thanks to Mike Scott Plumbing for that, for the plethora of bottles we have in the back for guests and all that stuff.
Yep, that's how we get them.
As we've been rolling through, we've had a good show for everybody so far. For the listeners, as this morning we had Avilio in. We talked. We had some fun, kind of getting the show kicked off there, talking a little bit about some coffee and some breakfast items, nonetheless. And then we moved in from before the top of the 8 o'clock hour, as just kind of carrying on a little bit of that. And then we had Galen, Life South Community Blood Centers. We talked to him, and we discussed, which I know when it's on, maybe just a little of your attention gets to it. But we were talking a little bit about sports, and as it's going to look to come to have certain things and leagues open up this coming summer, if you will. But and then from there, we discussed, of course, more of what's kind of been going on with the expectations, everything around the country with the protesting, and then the goes beyond that as far as the writing. Yeah. As like we said, with broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall, opens at 11 a.m. And is that still
2 5s and a 1 make it 11, right?
Yeah.
2 5s and a 1 make it 11.
To be honest with you, partner, if I wasn't familiar with this giant fishbowl window and I saw somebody like you doing that, I don't know what. I mean, regardless, I know I would.
What Adam is saying is I put my hands up
for the folks that are walking to the door,
and 1 finger after that, and it was a pointing finger.
Yeah.
2 5s and a 1 make 11.
I mean, like 11.
Oh, you can do 1 and 1, but that's only 2. So the mall opens at 11 o'clock this morning. Yes, 11 to 7, Monday through Saturday.
Yep.
And Sunday from 12 to
12 noon to 5:30 p.m.
Very good.
Yep. As we're moving through. By the way, just a little shout out to listeners, as we had. Today we were going to have, I think there was one point it was mentioned, but with Career Source, our friends at Career Source, the Laura Burns.
Mm-hmm.
But we say stay tuned for that, because they got some exciting information to bring to us, and they wanted to wait until the 17th of June to come in and talk to us a little bit about that. And I'm looking forward to that, because I think there's the mention of actually having her back in the studio. Which
that'll be nice. Something's coming up with Career Source.
Yeah.
And that's why she wanted to postpone it, because it's going to be closer to the event.
It's closer to the event, and it's more information to get to right there at the meat and potatoes prior to that event, and be a lot of good stuff. So
that way you could put it on the calendar, what's happening.
Absolutely, and it's fresh, and like you said, in your mind. And with that being said, as far as tomorrow, I was going to ask you, partner, are we still looking, as far as Veterans News, to still with the call-in?
Yeah, they're still calling in, because the reason they're still calling in, they haven't opened their facility yet by the government. And they only have 3 or 4 people working there right now.
Right.
So they have to stay in-house, because people can call in and make an appointment.
Right, which they are based on the like an emergency type or special needs case.
Right, and what they'll do, they'll bring the food or what's needed. They'll bring it out to you, to your car.
Right.
And remember, there's only 4 of them doing it. So they give out an average of $10,000 worth of food a month.
Wow.
4 people cannot do that. They cannot do that.
Right.
They need help. They need volunteers. Desperately, they need volunteers. But you got to call them ahead and see when the volunteers can come in. And like I had said earlier, the volunteers can come in, but you have to be qualified on certain things for certain positions, and that's where you go and you talk to them. It's like an interview, and you can be vented and say, okay, you can do this, or you could do that, or you're qualified to do this, because no disrespect to anybody, but there's certain qualifications that have to be met to do the volunteer work.
Right.
Some are very easy stuff, answering the phone or whatever. But then there's stuff that needs a little more finesse to it. And the number to call is 433-2320. That's Vets Helping Vets. And if they don't answer the phone, it'll go into a voicemail. And they do check it continuously, and they will get back to you. Especially if there's a problem. That's what we're there for.
Of course. Responding to the special needs cases that we say still encourage the call.
And if for some reason you can't get through to them and it's a dire matter, call me here at the station. I will do my best to help you get it resolved. I'm not a miracle worker. What I do is I connect the dots. And somebody had asked me, who trains dogs for post-traumatic stress? I didn't have that answer, but I said I get them that answer. And within a day, I had that answer to them. That's what I can do. I connect the dots, And that's what the team is there. They're still out there working.
Right.
But it's a good organization. I'm proud to be part of it because they're part of Marion County. Just think of it, 55,000 veterans.
Yeah.
So listen in at 9:00 tomorrow.
Yep.
And and they'll talk about veterans, and you can call in, right?
That's right.
622-9622. 622-9622. Let me pronounce that correctly. So you can call in with questions during the show, and then hopefully, if they don't have the answer right then and there, off the air, they'll get your name and number, and they'll get back to you, or you can call them later on.
Yep. We do got a caller. Good morning, WOCA. You're on the air.
Hi, Adam. Joe, this is Sonny again.
Sonny again. You got to change your last name. Go ahead.
All these stimulus checks here are being passed out. Well, wait till next year when you get a 1099 for that check.
They're supposed to be tax-free, I understand.
Try to collect taxes on everybody.
No, they're supposed to be tax-free, Sonny.
Huh?
I think they're supposed to be tax-free.
It would be nice, but I don't know.
That's what I heard. I don't know either. We'll, like you said, we'll find out.
Well, anyway, it's just passing thought, so if they're pass it on.
Hey, Sonny, we appreciate you.
You too, bud. Yeah,
I heard it was tax-free. I'm
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What I had brought up was with the article, which got Sonny fired up a little bit, and I'm glad he's listening and wanted to share his opinion with it, like he has now a couple times. But the idea was, is like we were mentioning how they're trying to put forth another stimulus package that would render another $1,200 for Americans, with instead of the $500 for your dependents, you'd be getting $1,200.
Wow.
So $2,400 if you were a single.
But you have to be a U.S. citizen.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. But with that, it's $3 trillion.
That's just numbers.
It's hard to fathom trillions.
It's trillions. It used to be millions. Now it's trillions.
Trillions.
What comes after trillions? Quadrillion?
Quadrillions?
I think it's quadrillion.
Yeah.
It's just numbers. It's just like a loaf of bread used to be a nickel growing up. Now it's $1. Yeah. The cheapest bread's $1. Okay, we're from a nickel to $1. Oh, it's just numbers. It's just another number put on because why? Well, back then it cost a nickel for the bread, but you're only making $15 a week.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're making $300 a week. That's why bread's $1. It's just numbers. It's going to follow.
Yep.
What, you're making more money? Okay, we could charge you more money.
You know what was the biggest difference, though? I noticed when I
95 cents.
When I was in Pensacola, they have the Navy Museum, the Aviation Museum.
Really, Pensacola?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's free. You can make a donation if you want. It's
Pensacola.
Pensacola, Florida's naval.
Where's that?
Navy Sherman there, the air station right there on the base.
Okay, I'm drawing a blank. I'm sorry.
Pensacola, Florida, farthest city west in Florida. Alabama border.
Oh, okay, near Destin?
Pensacola, yep. It's west of Destin. Yep.
West of, it's almost into.
Yeah, it's the last city west before you get into Alabama.
Okay, so I think I've driven by there.
Yeah,
That's right off of 10?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I've got to go there. I didn't know that was over there.
Yeah, and you'd love it, partner.
Gee, ex-Navy. You think I would? Yeah.
And nonetheless, they actually have this really cool area. I might have talked about it before, where as you're going through the museum, there's a little upstairs area that gets you a look into the 1940s of what living in America was kind of like. So it's got like a little quarter of a house that you go into, and you see how it looked back there in the 40s, and one of those old Maytag washing machines that has the rollers, and then they have a little grocer with like some of the items that would have been for sale and the price of things for sale. Exactly. And they talk about what was it, the green stamps or
S&H green stamps?
Yes. As those were.
I grew up with all that.
Right. So they have all that, and one of the most interesting things is they had a price breakdown of certain things at that time. So I think it was like 1943, and they had a list of the average median income for most Americans, the average price for a house, the average price for a vehicle at this time.
$15,000 for a house back then?
No. And I was going to say, this is what was actually interesting, because like when you just talk numbers, basically the median income for most Americans per year was about $2,000 a year. And nowadays we look at it and go, okay, well now it's somewhere around the mid 30s to 40s as far as median income, $40,000 a year.
Right.
And then you look at the price of other things. When I'm looking at that sheet, like you said, bread's a nickel, milk is 10 cents, that kind of thing. And then you realize, like, okay, well that's the expectations of how things were priced back then. But then the biggest thing, partner, what I realized and why things were different back then, it was because of the gap between what you made with your annual income and the price of a home. The average price of a home back then was $3,500.
Oh my gosh.
So if you're making $2,000 on average a year, your house isn't that far away from what you could afford, right? Within the means of it. But here we're talking now, 75 to 80 years later, we're talking about an average income that's only about 40 grand, but the average house is well over $100,000 a year. So that's one of the biggest things that changed, that you realize for the price of things. So at the end of the day, like you put it in a good sense, like, all right, so a Snickers bar back then was a nickel. All right, and now it's $1.25. That's not the big deal. And even the gallon of milk or the bread
bar
or
is smaller.
It is, yeah. Actually, it's bigger, but that's a different story.
Different story.
Yeah. But it's the difference in the actual living expense that we have nowadays that puts such the biggest gap in the idea of certain middle-class Americans. That's
you go to buy a house,
and the building materials really aren't that.
No, don't get me started on building materials. Don't get me started.
Well, shout out to DIY at our sponsor of the show.
But the other thing, building materials. Here's one that really irks the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Again, it goes in the same vein where price of gas was like 26.9. That
sure,
0.9 crap.
Sure, to round up for the exponential tax.
Whatever they do, that 0.9, right? Okay, a 2x4.
Yeah.
It was 2 inches by 4 inches.
Correct.
Not anymore. It's, what is it, a 2x4? Well, it's 1 3/4 inches. What happened to the 1/4 inch? And what happened? 2x4. So it's 3.5 inches? Yeah. That's a 1/2 inch less and a 1/4 inch less.
But it's still called 2x4 too, yeah.
So can we sue them for false advertising? I want a 2x4. You're advertising a 2x4? Where's my damn 2x4? And you know what I feel bad for? The carpenters and the workers that go into an old house that are ripping down a wall to expand and everything.
And
their 2x4 doesn't fit a 2x4 that's in their wall. So they've got to build that wall out to fit that 2x4 that's there that they're not going to rip out because, and it's like.
Gotcha.
It's like, okay. So how, over the years, and they showed it was like four changes, I think it was, 3 or 4 changes, where the 2x4 kept shrinking.
And why is that? Was that
because
just...
they get more lumber out of a tree.
Gotcha.
Common sense. Get more lumber out of a tree. A half inch, a half inch, a half inch, a half inch, 4/2 inch. Oh! Okay, there's a 3 inch. We put your half cents together, whatever. 5 of those, so it's like, okay, we got another 2x4 out of this. And everybody's, oh, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, we can do that. Well, who said they could do that?
Yeah.
The building industry? What irks me. You're paying for a 2x4, which is not a 2x4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why? Why are you paying more for something that you're getting less of? And then everybody, oh, it's okay. No, it's not okay. But people they lay back. Okay, it's okay. We can do it. No, I want a 2x4 because if it says 2x4, I want a 2x4. We have to pay more. I want a 2x4. But it's all the lumber. All the lumber is like that.
Yeah, it's all like that now.
The only thing is the thickness. If you buy a sheet of plywood that's 3/4 inch, it has to be 3/4 inch.
Right.
And it is. And a half inch, it's a half inch. I measure it because I use that stuff. Or if you get finished lumber, which costs more.
Oh, right.
But you get a 1 inch by 5 or a half inch by 5. It's a half inch by 5 inches.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it says it is.
So why not? Yeah,
why not a 2x4? The point.
But it was, like I said, it's fascinating how those are the things that have changed over time.
Oh yeah,
and like we said, and in general, the cost of living, in itself.
And we're hurting right now.
Yeah.
Not only us, but all the restaurants.
Yeah.
All those poor restaurants that are out there, that are, was it 100% outside, 50% inside?
Yeah, it's now 50% inside. Like I said, 100% outside. And again, it's like, can we just move to 100%? And in a local restaurant that I patron, it was the conversation I was having with the owners there. I said, hey, how's this worked out for you? I know your takeout's been really good. You guys have been staying busy. We've appreciated that. And he says, it's, and even that was kind of ludicrous, the 25% to 50%. He goes, it's no difference. And you got to understand how volatile things are to begin with, because let's say 100% open. Well, you still have no idea how one Wednesday you're busier than you were the last Wednesday, so how you staff is one of the most difficult things in a restaurant, period.
Sure.
It's one of the things.
Unless you market with WOCA, they can be busy all the time.
Busy all the time, full stop. But even when to kind of cut the floor, because when you would be busy at certain times, right? So going from 25% to 50%, he was like, that was a joke. That was a facade of somebody saying that they think that they're doing something right by that. Yeah. He goes, there was no change in that. And he goes, and it's awful when you do get consistency, and then because you do fill occupancy, that you be looking to actually turn away customers. And he goes, that's the worst. Or put them on a giant wait. And then they understand. He goes, that's the best part. He goes, our customers have understood. But at the same time, it's like, where are we at with this? And here we are now a month into a partner, a month.
Sure.
And that's where, just again, it's the logic that you feel is just, vacant from really what we're trying to do. There's no end goal. It's not like you're actually trying to get something specifically done. It's like we're just everything with this whole pandemic has just been an ease into, well, we'll figure it out.
I'm waiting for the theme parks to open.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, and I think that's.
Do you have to make reservations to go to the theme park?
Yes, reservations for certain things. So, for example, with Disney, they mentioned as they're pausing new ticket sales, and the resort hotel reservations can focus on guests with existing tickets and reservations, which existing ticket holders and annual pass holders will be able to make reservation requests in phases before new tickets are sold. And that's, again, as to why they, like, for example, we're talking about Disney World, is why it took towards July for them to open. We're talking July 11th, July 15th for, and that's part of it, is to not only to get their employees under it, but at the same time trying to get I guess some circumstances of the guidelines set, but then take care of the ones who have tickets and pass holders and all that stuff. But we'll be back right after this. WOCA Ocala.
There are thousands of people protesting in London right now over George Floyd's death in Minneapolis last Monday. Protests continue in cities across this country. In New York,
some protesters did continue to defy New York City's 8 p.m. curfew, and some of them were arrested. Meanwhile, looting did continue again in parts of Manhattan, though nothing like what we witnessed the last 2 nights. President Trump tweeted, "New York City, call up the National Guard. The lowlifes and losers are ripping you apart."
Fox's Aisha Hosni. Joe Biden is close to clinching the Democrats' presidential nomination, picking up more delegates in 8 primaries yesterday. In Iowa,
GOP Congressman Steve King lost to primary challenger State Senator Randy Feenstra. King was on the outs with Republicans after comments about white supremacy and had been stripped of committee assignments.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. America's listening to Fox News.
Have you ever wanted to learn a new language like French, Spanish, or Russian, but thought it would be too difficult and time-consuming? Then go to Babbel.com and try it for free. Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you everyday practical conversations that you will actually use. In 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel uses a modern conversation-based technique that makes language engaging, fun, and memorable. It starts by teaching you words and phrases. Then, sentences gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations about real-life topics. Babbel is created by language experts who use the spaced repetition method to help you learn quickly and remember what you learned. With Babbel, you can speak a new language. Babbel. Language for life. Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com or download the Babbel app and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
From the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
On June 10th at 10:35 a.m., Adam's guest will be from Ruby Slipper LLC to talk about their car seat cover, a specially designed heavy-duty double-layered seat cover with a unique sliding action that allows passengers to swivel into their car. Created by Catherine Miles, the Ruby Slipper car seat cover can help with mobility for anyone who has such difficulty. Again, that's 10:35, June 10th. It's news you can use from Catherine Miles and your friends here at WOCA, The Source.
WOCA. Want protection? Hero Mammoth covers only your nose and is made in the U.S. from U.S. source materials. Eat, drink, and breathe better. www.heromammoth.com.
Hey folks, that selection of great trees at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens just got better. Now listen to this. When you buy one tree at Bob's already super low price, you get another one for half price. Now this applies to every tree in stock, starting with a great selection of large trees, 4 to 6 feet tall, selling for just $19.99. All the way up to Bob's famous super jumbo trees at $5.99, delivered, planted, and guaranteed. Check out the truckload sale on citrus trees, too. Orange, tangerine, tangelo, lemon, lime, grapefruit, others. Many are bearing fruit right now, and they start at just $59.99. How about that BOGO on shrubs, priced at just $19.99 to $24.99. Buy one, get one free. Come by early. They open at 9, and get the best selection. Beat the crowds. It's this week at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, in the same blooming place since 1952.
AccuSleep offers a safe and effective medical option for those who suffer from sleep disorders of all kinds. AccuSleep makes restoring healthy sleep patterns possible. No medication, no surgery, just good sound sleep. Mend your sleep so you can stop counting sheep. Experience restorative sleep at AccuSleep, the acupuncture sleep clinic in Ocala by calling 352-615-5566.
Some other common diseases that can dampen your summer tomato crops. That's coming up on This Land of Ours.
Welcome.
Howdy folks, RL here for Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best charred grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. And the burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequaled. Personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always